Good evening, Garage Army. Welcome to Friday Night Chats with Garage Geek. I hope you all had a great week. I did. I had the week off, and in fact, I have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off, so I'm still psyched. I've been busy this week, even though I've had off. I've been rearranging my room, and I moved furniture around, and it's actually been a lot of work. It's not exactly where I want it to be yet, but it's getting closer, and I made a lot of progress, so I'm very happy about that. I mostly have movies to go over with you tonight. Not many books. In fact, no books at all. So sorry, this is not going to be a very literate week with Garage Geek. So I'm going to start by talking about my live stream, which is going to be tomorrow. So it's the Fabulous Four. We're going over these 4 items. It's March of the Mammoths. Now, it's the graphic novel Monsters, the novel 1001 Arabian Nights, the movie Stalker, and the music is Blood on the Fields. So we'll be going over those tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. Remember, you could have done some, done none, whatever. If you want to jump on and say hi, that's fine too. So, kind of casual. But anyway, so that's tomorrow morning at 10. I'm going to tell you that I kind of failed with one of these. It's the book. I didn't get far. I only got through 250 pages out of 950. But it's okay because it's short stories. And it's something that I'm going to keep reading and savoring over time. I don't need to tell you that now. I could tell you that tomorrow in the live stream. I want to do a shout out to Guz69. I really copped out. Right before this, I just did an internet search for skulls, but I found a cool one. Look, it fills up the entire stream. The screen. Isn't that cool? Look at that. So sorry, Guz, but I did want to shout out that Guz69 is doing his ongoing Skull a Day project on his blog, and I wanted to support him with that. The next thing I want to talk to is specifically to my Danish followers. I've got a slew of them out there. They will go unnamed. No, they won't. I'm going to say their name. All 2 of them. But the first one I'm going to say is Morten. Morten, hold on, let me find it. Where's the picture? Here it is. So this singer-songwriter recently died. And Morten recommended this album, and man, I really, really like it. I've listened to it a bunch of times. I probably should do a review of it at some point. Yeah, I really, really like that. And Kim at This Is Music, we did a challenge, and he gave me 10 Danish pop songs that were near and dear to him in his childhood. And so I'm just going to quickly scroll through them. These are the 10 songs, and I did a full review on these with clips, I believe, and I like this playlist so much. That one, video. Okay, let's keep going. These songs are all good. They're all fun. I have them on a playlist if anybody wants it. It's Spotify. You just let me know, and I could probably provide the link. The reason that I'm bringing this up is I cycle through these lists, and I listen. I go back and listen to them, and I've listened to this list a bunch of time. But Kim, I am ready for more. I know might be work for you, but if you could give me just 5 more songs to add to my list, you know that I love singers, especially classic singers from the 30s to 40s all the way to the 70s. And I like 80s pop. So, I'm asking for some more songs because I love these so much, and I want to add them to my list and be able to keep learning more about some Scandinavian music. I don't know if these are all Danish. They might be. And Morten, also, if you want to recommend something for me, that would be great. All right, I'm like begging for more music from my followers. Sorry. Next, my husband and I went to a concert. It was more like a live music venue, a live menu. And we saw this group, which is called Heart of Blonde. Now it's spelled Blond, and there was a dot with an E, so it was like blonde E. I guess they do that for copyright reasons. And not only did they do a full set, they also then did a Madonna tribute. So it was called, I think it was Madonna versus Blondie or something like that. So it was like, I don't know how many, it felt like 3 hours. I mean, not that it was bad, but it was a very long set. And this woman, she had to, and the band, it was the same band doing both sets. They performed all of it, except for there was this woman, she did a couple of songs each set. For example, she did like a Pat Benatar number. I forget who else she did. But she would take over a little bit and sing a couple 80s songs that weren't related to Blondie or Madonna. And here's an example of her when she was dressed as Madonna. She actually did like 3 costume changes. Here's her when she's doing her later Madonna. She had her hair back, and I think it was pretty cool. And then my husband got a picture with her after. She was so nice. My husband stood at the stage and he was like, "Hey," and then like finally, I think, I'm not sure if he tapped her on the shoulder, and I was like, "Oh my God, just leave her alone." But no, she was so nice. She came down and she's like, "Thank you for for asking for a picture." And then she said she gave me her phone and I had to take a picture, and she actually posted it on the Instagram. We found it, which was so nice. He was so excited. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, we really enjoyed that night out. Drinks, the music, we were dancing. It was like being at a mini 80s event. It was a lot of fun. B-Sides did a live stream, and I kind of misunderstood what it was about. I thought we were supposed to get together and kind of talk about YouTubers who have gone along the wayside, and where it was called "Where Have They Gone?" And I prepared 2 that I've only been on YouTube for a little while, but there's already 2 main YouTubers that I follow like strongly, and they've already gone or they've disappeared. And so I thought it was going to be about that, but what she did, like, she and her husband have been on YouTube for years and years and years, like over 10. And they reached out. It was really cool. They reached out to YouTubers that haven't been on YouTube, and they asked them to like come in and join and talk. And it was really nice. I couldn't stay for the whole thing, but it was really nice. They contacted, at least one showed up, and he was talking about like why he wasn't on YouTube anymore, and da 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 da. So in that spirit, like, I had prepared 2, and if you've been with my channel for a long time, I've only been on like a year and a half. There's one YouTuber, T-Cat's Deep Vinyl Tracks. I used to like do a lot with him, and he just has stopped making videos for about like 3 months. I really do hope he'll come back. I still see him, I think, posting on Facebook. And I did reach out to him once, and I wrote, I don't want to write him on Facebook, but I wrote to him through YouTube. I was like, "Hey, I miss you. Can you respond to this?" But maybe he didn't see it. I don't know. Maybe he's just, taking a break from YouTube. I know he did a move and all this kind of stuff. So I'm just saying, hey, miss you, and I hope you come back and make some more videos. And then another one that I met right at the beginning. Like, I followed him for a while, and I was commenting with him, and I actually we did a challenge together, and that one was Square the Circle. He just stopped, and it's been a while. He stopped, and I don't know what happened to him. I mentioned this before. Like, I wrote to him on his channel too. I was like, "Hey, I just want to know if you're okay." No response. So yeah, it's a really interesting thing, right? Because you start developing these kind of relationships, right? They're back and forth. You're you're writing to each other in the comments. We did shared videos where, we challenged each other, and then all of a sudden, they're gone, so you don't know what happened. But anyways, if either of you see this, would you please reach out to me? I'd love to know what's going on with you. Oh, I forgot to mention this. I got a bad comment, and I'm blaming This Is Music. So it was one of the Out of the Comfort Zones videos. No, I don't blame you, Kim. It's totally my fault. But he challenged me to, I don't even remember the name. It's like this album right there, Nocturnus or something. It was a good album. I was having fun with it. And this was like, I don't know, like 6 or 8 months ago. This video is like a long time ago. And then he wrote to me just like this week, and he was like, instead of guessing, why not do research? You get your first fact wrong. First fact. And he put it in caps. It's the second album. Please try to be more intelligent. I was laughing. I was like, oh my God. So the whole point of that thing wasn't for me to be an expert on this album. It was for me to experience it and then talk about, my experience with the music. I wasn't ever trying to be like an expert on this band. But it cracked me up. And so, of course, I wrote him a response. I mean, if you want to pause it and read it, go ahead. But I was like, no, thank you. I mean, seriously? I think there's a better way to tell somebody that you got a fact wrong. For example, hey, the album is actually their second album. Their first album is called Manga Mama. Okay, I mean, that's a polite way of doing it instead of, please try to be more intelligent. That was hilarious. So, like, I haven't gotten a really bad comment in a long time. That was like out of the blue from a video from a long time ago. It was quite funny, but at the same time I was like, I'm not going to ignore it. So I had to write back. So here we go. We're going to get to the movies that I saw this week. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies in one show. So here we go. The first movie is going to be Roadhouse. So as you probably know, there's a new version of Roadhouse out on Netflix. So I had never seen the original from 1989 with Patrick Swayze. So we were all set to watch it, and I was like, my husband was like, why don't we watch the first one? Let's watch the first one, and then we'll watch the other one tomorrow. I was like, I'm totally fine with that. So I'd never seen this movie, and I really enjoyed it. However, there were some strange things. There were a lot of boobies in this movie. I mean, like, it was like Boobie Central. There was so many boobies in this. I'm going to stop saying boobies, by the way. There were a lot of exposed women's chests, which I did not expect. And, I mean, everything about it was 80s. Like, her hair was done like this, where it went back and then poofed out. And she had like this tan, like deep tan. It was like so 80s, everything about it. And the strangest thing is that Patrick Swayze was so in shape for this. And to a point where it looked like too much. There's a scene where they showed him from the back, and it was kind of shaded. It was at night. And he was a little bit bent over. And I know that he's all muscular, but it looked somehow strange or abnormal. And he was just too fit for this movie. But it's strange, right? Because here I am, someone that's not in shape or anything, and here's somebody who like really, really worked on their body, and I'm like saying how abnormal it looks. I'm sure my out of shape, flabby body is what really looks abnormal. But it was strange to see, kind of shocking, right? It was like too much. So here are the three leads in the movie, and so, like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was going to be schlocky and silly. I mean, it's an '80s kind of like fight action movie. It's not going to be like the best thing you've ever seen. But with that in mind, I thought it was a really good movie, and I'd never seen it before, so I was like very happy. So now we're getting to Roadhouse 2024, the new one, and that's this. And this guy is so dreamy. Oh my gosh, I could not stop looking at him. He was so hot. And whereas the first movie had so many tits, this one had so much ass, like male ass, and I was so happy. This guy keeps showing his ass in the movie, and oh, there he is. He looked so cool in this movie, and he kept showing his ass, and it was the best ever. Sorry, this is too much information, but you guys, I'm sorry, all you people out there, you get to see women's breasts all the time, and I never get to see male ass, and I got to see this guy's ass. Wow, two major scenes in this movie. You have to watch it. He's got a nice. I'm gonna stop saying ass. Okay, he's got a really nice butt, and this movie was good, not just because of the butt. This guy was hilarious. He was a psycho, and he was so good in the role. For a remake and for a silly action movie, uh, totally enjoyed this movie. I honestly can't say which one is better. They were both really good movies, and I would go so far as to say that you could watch both these movies as a double feature, and they're that different. Because this one is like so much action, the way that they set it up, and the older one's more straightforward. Um, action with camera angles and fight scenes and um, I don't know what to say. I really enjoyed this movie, and I really do think that butt helped, though. I mean, wow, look at that guy. Sorry, his name is Conor McGregor. I think I need to find out where he lives. All right, let's continue. Like he'd have anything to do with me. All right, the next movie. Oh, here we go again. The Face Off. Oh, there's another picture. Sorry, I kind of like glazed over Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, there's a famous scene in the first movie where they show I don't know if it's famous. I'm saying like maybe infamous because I didn't know much about Roadhouse when I watched it. So there's a scene where they show Patrick Swayze's butt like full on, and they like the camera lingers on it. And they do the same scene in the second movie, but we don't see Jake's. Only like the woman like is looking at it. And I thought that was excuse me. I even have a cough drop in my mouth. You can replay that and hear me go with my voice. But Jake Gyllenhaal didn't show his butt. And I was wondering, that's an interesting choice. And why? Like, because the other guy in the movie is showing his butt like crazy, and Jake doesn't show his. It's not that I wanted to see his butt, but I'm wondering why. It was a weird thing. Maybe in his contract, he's like, no, I'm not showing my butt if you want me in this movie. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have a nice butt. Wait, did we actually see Jake Gyllenhaal's butt in Brokeback? I need to get off butts right now. The point is, it was weird that in the first movie we saw the lead's butt, and in the second movie we didn't, but we saw the other guy's butt a lot. Okay, I'm gonna move on now. Roadhouse, watch them. Okay, the next movie was 65. Now, I've actually seen this movie before, and I don't know why. I was just like, let me watch this. It was after I'd finished, or we had finished Roadhouse, and my husband, he was going to sleep, but I still wanted to watch something. And so I put the movie on, and I knew I'd already seen it. And you know what? I still enjoyed it beginning to end. It was a really fun movie. It makes no sense, really. So it's like a popcorn movie. It's like one of those... It's really like one of those old movies from the 70s that has dinosaurs and people get into these into a predicament. It's totally unbelievable how they get into the predicament, but who cares? They're there with dinosaurs and they're trying to survive. Fun movie, beginning to end. It was the second time I watched it. I still enjoyed it. So that's Adam Driver, and I think it came out in 2023. Yeah, I enjoyed that movie a lot. The next movie is called Unthinkable. Now, when you see that movie poster, that movie poster scream Saw? So I think it's a little bit of misadvertising. However, I didn't see that before I watched the movie. I saw just the back of Samuel Jackson's head. That's the poster of it. But it's got Samuel Jackson, it's got Carrie-Anne Moss, and it's got Michael Sheen. So pretty good cast. So I was thinking I really wanted to watch it. So I turned it on. And it's about a terrorist who has planted 3 bombs, or he claims to have planted 3 nuclear bombs throughout the United States. And he allows himself to be caught because he's on some kind of like a holy mission. And the whole movie is it was actually pretty cleverly done because it takes what people are willing to do step by step. They keep crossing the line and crossing the line, and it's about torturing prisoners. Like, how far do you go? What do you do? What's the next step? Are you willing to do it? Is one life worth potential millions, and not just maybe one life, maybe 2 or 3 lives? And they start to talk about the age of the victim, or whether the victims are innocent, or what does that matter? Is it okay to torture or even kill innocent people, 1 or 2, if you could save hundreds and thousands? And I thought the movie was really clever because it kept little by little making you cross those lines, and you have to cross the line with the people in the movie, because one of them is crossing the line and the other one is there as kind of a guide, and to either stop or push, because he's a torturer and she's an agent, and she's telling him, no, you can't do this. And then he's like, okay, well, if you tell me to stop, I'm going to stop. But if I stop, that means we won't find those bombs and all those people will be died. So listen, you either let me continue what I'm doing or I stop. It's up to you. And he forces her to make a lot of the decisions. And we're her in this movie, right? We're like, wait, you can't do that. Wait, you can't do that. But then every time you make a choice, we're kind of with her and we're like, wait, no. Anyways, it's not as good as I make it sound. Like, it's got flaws. Excuse me, again, my throat. The movie has flaws. But as a thinking activity where you take some kind of thought experiment and you put it on screen, I think it did a really good job. And it's got 3 really good actors. Again, it's not going to be the best movie you've ever seen, but like I thought, as a thinking or thought experiment, I thought they did a good job with it. Excuse me again. All right, the next one was called All of Us Strangers. Now, my husband and I wanted to watch this because it was a new gay movie, and it was as soon as you open up, it was when you're on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, and so they'll put the new movies up, and I was like, oh, a new gay movie, let's try it. All of Us Strangers. This was not what I expected it to be. All of Us Strangers. So, I mean, that was the picture I saw. Looks like a typical gay movie, right? Okay, 2 guys in a club or whatever. They're going to have a romance. That is not what this movie is about. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm going to say that this is a gay movie that could appeal to non-gay audiences. I think it was well made enough and the story was interesting enough. And it's got a supernatural premise. Again, I don't want to spoil it in case somebody really wants to watch it, because if I start telling you what it's about, it's going to start spoiling it immediately. But as you're watching the movie, you're like, wait, something strange is going. Wait, that doesn't. Wait, that's weird. And you start to, fall in line and understand what's going on. Um, is it done the best way ever? No, but it's a very enjoyable movie that tries to do something different on a low budget. Well, I'm not sure what the budget is, but it seemed more low budget, right? It's not this one of these huge blockbuster movies. And so for that, I really give this movie props. And I think they tell a really, really good story that could appeal to audiences that just aren't gay. Now, if you're out there and you're not gay and you decide to watch this movie, I would love to know if I made the right prediction. Like, can this appeal to non-gay audiences? Because so many times gay movies are very restricted to gay audiences only. They become niche, and very few of them cross over like Brokeback Mountain did. So help me out. If you watch this and you're not gay, then please tell me what you think, because I would really love to know whether I'm right or wrong, and if you find merit in this movie. The next one, and it's the last one, is The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. So I did a research. I did some research on some overlooked horror movies that are for streaming, and came up with this one. So this is basically a retelling of Frankenstein in a modern setting, where a girl and her family has been traumatized by drugs and gangs and shootings, and like her parents die, like her mom dies right in front of her. It's pretty gruesome how they show it. This is a very low budget movie, but it's actually very effective. Even my husband was like, wow, I really enjoyed that movie. It's just a retelling of Frankenstein, but in this modern setting. And I think you could strip away all of the Frankenstein monster stuff, and this movie would still be a horror story because of what these kids have to grow up in, and where they live and what they have to go through. And then on top of that, you add in with the gangs and the drugs and just trying to get by day, and being responsible for other people's choices and all that kind of stuff, dealing with trauma and guilt. And then you add on top of that the horror of the monster, and it was a fun movie, low budget. But if you like Frankenstein and Frankenstein offshoots, and if you're interested in anything that I said, I think you should give this movie a try. But just, you do have to remember, it's low budget, but I really recommend it. And the final thing, oh, here's another picture of the poster right there. Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. Oh, look at that. She did a really good acting job in this movie, by the way. Oh, they're the skulls again. And I'm gonna go. There's only one more thing I need to talk about, and I kind of binged Three Body Problem. So Three Body Problem is a new show on Netflix of 8 episodes, and I'm trying to find where I put the picture. Oh, here it is. So here are the 3 books by Cixin Liu, and I've read all the books. I don't remember all the details. It was funny because a friend of mine and I, we were chatting back and forth, and we're like, was that in the book? Was that in the book? What? Like, there's a couple things that happened. I wasn't sure. We weren't sure. There's something else. Like, I was like, I don't remember how that ends up. I mean, I remember how the whole thing wraps up. So I think the writers took some liberties. They changed things. They added things. I really enjoyed the series. It was 8 episodes. Another friend of mine said that he thought it started out slow but got better. My other friend said she wished there was more of the game, because there's a virtual reality game in it. Like, she would have liked more. there was and she also said less of the romance. There was a character in here who was kind of cliche. He was all mopey, and he was mopey about, unrequited love, and he was gonna die, before having his love. Okay, so that kind of, I was like over that character, but overall I was very, very pleased with what they did with this show. And I binged, like I watched a couple of the, like one day, and then last night I watched 4 or 5 episodes in a row. I wanted to get through it. I really, really enjoyed it. Here are a couple pictures from the show. So the three body problem has to do with 3 planets, a system, a planetary system where there are 3 planets that rotate around the sun. And I thought I had more. Oh, here's another 3 body problem. But there's so much to this series, and it really has a lot of really cool science and ideas. I'm not sure if this writer came up with all the ideas himself, or maybe he put them into a unit, maybe added some. But overall, the story of the 3 body problem, the novels, had so much science, so many interesting situations. Each book added or changed something to the whole dynamic. I thought it ended well as well, because usually when you have a buildup like that, and then once you find out the mystery, it loses the interest. I think the 3 body problem novels didn't do that. It was interesting until the end. So here's another picture of it. And is it going to be the most perfect series you ever watch? No, but for me, it was captivating, and I highly recommend it. 3 body problem. Oh, it was also done by the people, I guess, who did Game of Thrones. And there you go. There's the novels again. All right. So that is my Friday night chat. Sorry you heard my voice go out a couple of times in this. But remember, I'm going to have a live stream tomorrow if you can catch it. And I just, I got 3 more days off. I'm going to be looking forward to that. Still got some cleaning and organizing to do. I might make a couple more videos this weekend. There's been a couple that I've had on my mind that I haven't gotten to, so I might actually do them this weekend. But as always, if I said anything in this video that you found interesting and would like to comment on, go ahead and put a comment in the chat. Even if you want to be negative, I'll probably respond snarkily. No, I don't often do that. And as always, I really, really thank you all for your support.